Welcome to Gotta Run. This is Will Sanchez, and I have a very special guest, Ramon. Thank you.
Hi, Will. How are you?
Good. I want to introduce Ramon by reading something that our good friend Osbili Tala wrote about him. Ramon is a gifted coach with natural leadership abilities and contagious energy. He knows exactly when, how, and what to emphasize. His gift is his ability to make every one of us believe that one is the star athlete of the team, regardless of running ability. At races, he brings a huge cowbell to announce our arrival and pulls some in towards the finish line. Under Ramon's leadership, we improve our performance seemingly effortlessly. He shares his knowledge through insightful and witty comments, which motivates us further. This was written in April of 2007 when I was with Team in Training and Ramon was my first running coach. It is no exaggeration to say that he and his team changed my life. That was the day I started my marathon career. But, Ramon, I'd like to start to introduce the audience. Where were you born? Where did you go to school?
I was born in Spain, in a small little town called Puebla del Carmeñal, in the state of La Coruña, about 42 years ago. And I spent my first 21 years of my life there, and I moved here just when I turned 21. I was going to spend here just a little time, get to know the States, and then my plan was to go back to my country and continue life. But I guess I kind of like it here a little more than expected, and still here 21 years later.
That's great. When you were at school, did you have natural abilities as an athlete?
Yes. I was young when I started running. I had my first medal when I was 11 years old. I started focused on training when I was 13. The difference between my country, years ago and now, is that at the time there was not organized sports. I didn't have really a coach there. There wasn't a lot of guidance on running. So it was pretty much myself, and then I teamed up with a little group of friends. I remember I was 13 and my friends I used to run with, they were like 25, 26. So I was the little kid hanging out with the old guys, so I felt like really... it was very social, competitive as well. I remember, when you're young, you're just competitive. But that's how my love for the sport started, because I did it while it was a lot of social, because I get to hang out with a lot of friends. I also, get into the sport and start learning everything that I know right now.
Okay. How did you get into coaching? You started running with older folks. What led you into the coaching career?
Coaching, when I was 18, this little group of friends in Spain, in my little town, there was 4 of us. We decided to start expanding. So we decided to start kind of getting our little friends, little kids from 6 years old and up, to introduce them to running. So the 4 of us started just kind of getting these little kids and getting to run and trying to teach them everything we have learned so far. I was 18 when we started getting those little kids together, which is fun to say, because now a lot of those kids are now elite athletes in my country. It's pretty cool. But then when I came here, I was just running, training for long distance. I was always a long distance runner, never really liked the short distance. But I started coaching. My first coaching job, was with NYU, the New York University, for the running club. Not the varsity team, the running club, which I still do. It's been with them about, I think, 13 years now, 12, 13 years. That was my first pure coaching job. Still there. And now from there, I was at...
Well, I met you through Team in Training.
Team in Training.
When did you start that?
Team in Training, I started in 2001, November 2001. That was my first season with Team in Training. I remember I remember well because within a week I had a new job, a new coaching job, a new house, and a new baby. So it was so much happening in a week. But at the beginning, it wasn't. I was so much into my own running that I wasn't sure about the coaching because I was still focusing on getting faster and getting more accomplished.
Well, let's introduce the audience to Team Training. Team Training is a branch of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society that brings people from all abilities, from zero to elites, to help fundraise to find cures for blood cancers. So you were heading the marathon portion of the program, that's correct?
Correct.
Now, what I found interesting, because I've done many other programs since then, two unique things about Team Training, and I wanted to get your perspective. One were the assistant coaches. How did that, rationale of having other people help you, was that a part of the program?
Yes, when we started there, Team Training is one of the non-profit organizations that use, athletics and training people for endurance events. To fundraise money towards the cause. Like you have many others out there, like Determination and Fred's team and many others out there. Team Training is definitely the leader in the field. When I started there, it was three of us, three coaches. I was the head coach, and I have two assistants. It was small at the time. I remember my first team. 2001.
2001, yes.
It's pretty small. I will remember that. I had like 7 people going to Nashville, about 31 going to London, and maybe about 40 doing the New Jersey Marathon. Now, it's been growing. So now it's, we're going through the second boom of running. So all these programs are growing. So.
Well, the other thing I want to mention is the terrific mentoring program that you guys have. Describe the mentoring program that Team Training facilitated.
These programs, as they grow, you need to support the athletes, and the athletes need support not just in the physical preparation, but also in the fundraising. Some people, when they join these kind of programs, they need guidance and help, not just with the training aspect of it, the physical training, but also with the fundraising part of it. For a lot of people, the challenge is not the training, is physical part of it, but it's the fundraising part of it. So these mentors are past participants that they can give them the guidance on the fundraising, or even to make sure they create a social aspect of the program, which is very important in this type of program.
Oh, it's definitely. Like I said, I was caught up with the social aspect so much so that I kept at it. You say it's for fundraising. Do you know approximately how much money has Team Training? I don't know if it's just New York City. It's a national-wide organization, but in total, how much money has come in through these efforts of these charity runners?
I know Team Training nationwide this year they reached the $1 billion mark.
What would it be? $1 billion
this year.
That's amazing. Yeah. All towards not only finding cures for cancer, but also research, but also as advocacy for people that are going through the system and need help. So it's a full-fledged program. Recently, I think you did something for your 40th birthday. You wanted to do a couple of things. I think I recall you wanted to do at least 40 marathons, but at the time you before you hit 41, you sort of hit 40 plus. Plus, you also wanted to do an ultra marathon.
Right. For my 40, I decided to celebrate my 40th birthday. I have a couple of goals. The first one was to have 40 official marathons by 40. I mean, I have run the marathon distance a lot more times than 40, but I wanted to have 40 official marathons, by 40.
You wanted 40 certificates or 40 medals?
No, just in my head, a challenge. It was something that fun. One day I just woke up to decide to do, like many people out there do it. 40 marathons. I also wanted to do, I'm sure you're familiar with Central Park, I wanted to do 40 loops of the Northern Loop, 40 times Harlem Hill. So I decided to do, my birthday, I'm going to celebrate by getting up at 3 in the morning and do 40 loops of the Harlem Hill.
How many miles is one loop?
It's 1.4, so it's
So you
about
did about
56 miles,
56.
something like that. Something like that. That was just for fun.
That was for fun, but was that part of the training for the
Right,
ultra
correct.
marathon?
And then for my 40th, it wasn't just about the 40th, but I decided, I've been connecting through the years with all these people, and that became friends that were affected by some kind of cancer. So I decided that it was time to give back. So I decided to do my own fundraising. So I decided I'm going to fundraise. I picked a couple of people to be my honorees. I picked this little girl, which I fell in love with since I met her, and through the program, Kate Davis.
This is the honored teammate.
The honored teammate.
Oh, that's another unique thing. Well, unique that I haven't run across it for other marathons, that every season or every event you pick one or two, maybe several honored teammates. These are people that are either participating with you but have either in remission or have cancer.
Right, correct.
But such contagiously happy people to be part of your program that they participate even as a cheerleader or actually do the event.
Yes, this girl is still too young, 6 years old when I met her, but she, I met first her two sisters. She has a twin sister, Olivia, and the bigger sister, Emma. And when I met her, I don't know, just my heart just grew, and it became a big part of my life. So I decided to honor her, and I was going to fundraise money. So, but I figured out if I just tell people, I'm going to run a marathon, give me some, help me by donating some money, they're going to be like, big deal, like I have done so many. So I tried to think about shocking people. So I decided, what about if I decide to do 100-mile race? So I decided to participate in the Vermont 100. It's a trail running up in Vermont. Challenging.
Is that 2008?
2008.
That was your first one?
That was my first one.
And I remember your goal was $50,000.
My goal was $50,000, correct. And that fundraising $63,000, which put me, I was for that season was the top fundraiser in the country. Which was amazing for me, you hear from people that you do make a difference, like you change people's lives by helping them to achieve something that some people thought was unachievable. But not just the money. When I look at it, I have about over 1,000 people that donated.
For the 63,000.
Yes. So it's not like I got like this check for 20,000, but
so it averages
so many people.
about $60 to $100.
Right. Exactly. But it's the amount of people that donated. It's a lot of pride into that. I know, and that people do listen.
Well, 100 miles is quite different from the usual marathon, which is 26.2. You've done both. You've done probably two Vermonts.
I have done now two.
Now, what is the biggest difference in training between a 26.2 and a 100?
It's different. I believe for me the biggest challenge was to learn to run slower. Like the patience. It's a lot of patience. I mean, I'm with experience I have that, but it's a different baby. The patience of really run really slow and really, do the walking. Like as a runner, sometimes you do have to take those little walk breaks to make sure that you recharge the body and make sure that you hydrate well and eat well. So that was my biggest challenge, if I had to guess. The physical part of it, I don't think was ever an issue. I never had an issue that I'm not going to finish it. I just what I will have to go through to finish it.
The patience.
The patience and like how much discomfort, what kind of mistakes will I make? Because
we have a slideshow that we're going to show up. Maybe we could show the slideshow of this is the Vermont from 2009. This is your second one.
My second one, which one better than the first one, of course.
Oh, in fact, here it is. This is the start?
Yeah, that's as you can see, different from the New York City Marathon. It's a very low key.
How come they have to weigh you?
Yeah, part of the rule, you have to be weighed in before, and you have to get weighed in at least 2-3 times during the race. If you lose over 7% of your body weight, you will get disqualified. They will pull you out of the race.
So there's a medical doctor.
Correct.
They're taking your
blood pressure. So they check for vitals to make sure that.
Now, is this before the race?
That's before the race. They're gonna take notice of you, heart rate, blood pressure, and weight.
When you're doing 26.2, most marathoners dream of doing it in 3 hours or under. That's sort of the gold standard. Now, when you're doing 100 miles, and you mentioned you got to do it slower, is there a gold standard for that? Is it under 24 hours? Or?
The under 24 hours, it is kind of the standard because if this is a small race, so in these races, you finish under 24 hours, most of them, you get a belt buckle that to recognize you kind of, you are a little kind of the leader.
Oh, okay. Here you got the nipple
body
guards.
Have my have a great crew team.
That's
friends.
interesting. So even though you're wearing high-tech shirt, you still need protection.
Yeah,
that
always.
friction still occurs.
Always. Even just prevent, doesn't hurt. So having a crew team, that's part of my crew team. That's me.
How many people? What's this?
That's me having fun. I go into the races just to have fun. And it's not just about just finish it. I know I can finish it, but I want to have some fun. So I have this group of friends coming to help me. Actually, Ramon 100 started as a horse race. So believe it or not, we both run horses and runners participate at the same time.
Which
is pretty amazing. So at night, when you run at night through these trails, in really challenging trails, the horses, have night vision, so that you can just
go. Perform here.
Yeah.
Let's look at that. Now, I noticed you got different shirts. One was an orange.
Yes.
Now you're wearing green, so you constantly.
I change. Yes.
So that's another difference. You change clothes.
I change clothing. I change socks. I change shoes. It's always a good thing for your muscles, for your blisters.
Somebody's just having a good time.
As you can see, they have t-shirts that say Venga Ramon, which is Go Ramon, and that's me stretching, I guess. It's all about having fun. They were waiting for me having costumes. That's my team, as you can see.
How many? So you had 6?
6. The first year I have more than that. This year, that's my triathlon club, Try to Be. It's a triathlon club that I coach. I created.
And so they were your crew.
They were a crew. They
it looked like you had blisters.
A blister. I just pumping the blister there. Just get a little.
Normally you don't get that when you do 26.2.
I do sometimes, very few, but I do sometimes. So
that's good to know that even elites get blisters.
Oh yes, yes they do. I don't consider myself elite, but yes, the elite athletes do.
But anybody can do a 3-hour marathon or better. Oh, this is now at night?
We start running at night. When you run at night, you have to wear a headlamp. That's just making sure I get a little 3-minute rest stop to get the blood flowing back to my heart to kind of recover a little bit.
The doctors have checked you out a couple of times?
Yes, they checked me a couple of times. The first year, I know there was a little scare there. I lost 6% of my body weight. It was cold.
Oh, it gets cold at night?
It got a little cold that day. Yes, it was a little cold.
So running at night, it looks like you're near the finish.
There's the finish line right there, as you can see.
But it looks like now you're in short sleeve, even though it's colder.
Running was the temperature while you're running, it was perfect.
Now,
That was me. That was 22 hours, 44 minutes, 35 seconds. I was 51st overall, 19th in my age group.
I'm sorry, you were 19th in your age group?
Yeah, just.
Wow. And look, some woman named Jill got in 19 hours? At the top line?
No,
the horses?
Jill Perry will be probably the top, the top female, probably, yes.
My gosh,
there's some fast people, yes.
That's incredible.
But I tell you, they run fast, they don't have as much fun as I did. I had more fun than anybody. I mean, my crew was the best, by far the best. By the time we left, everybody knew them because they were extremely loud, fun. It was awesome. That's the next day, still standing.
The next day, yeah. We got more.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think we have any more.
My friends, and there's Peter and Mike and Amy and Amanda and Dave.
Okay, that's
crew.
Part of your crew.
Yeah. They were a lot of fun. Awesome crew.
Oh, okay. I think that's the end of the pictures. Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was fun.
Huh. Now, you've done that twice. You did it in 2008. This was 2009. This is And why did you do it the second time?
The first year I did 22:31, something like that. The second year 22:43.
Okay, pretty good. But why repeat it? You know, you already did it.
Oh, why?
What was the challenge?
Okay, truly, the first year make a couple of mistakes. Even I have the experience as a runner for many years. In a new event, you are gonna make mistakes, and I made mistakes.
You didn't run slow enough. You take enough walk breaks.
I would say yes. I do believe I don't know about going too fast, but I should have taken a little more walking breaks. It's very hilly, so as you know, you're supposed to kind of hold back a little more on the hills. I don't think I held enough on the hills, and then I have a couple of issues with my kidneys. I have some scary moments there.
This is the first time.
And the first time I got a couple.
You had scary moments the first time.
Yeah,
Kidneys,
I was peeing blood at one point. So
during the race.
yes, in the middle of the race, so I got to pee kind of blood. So that was a little scary. So and that was due to my own mistakes. So the next year, I wanted to do it again just for the challenge.
And your wife said okay, even though that first year was a little scary. I mean, anytime you pee blood.
Yes.
Water,
it's my
right?
own challenge.
It's your own challenge.
It's my challenge. I know my body. I know what I did. And it was funny because the second time around, I didn't train not even close enough as much as the first time.
Interesting.
But again, I don't think it's about the physical part of it. I always knew I had the physical ability. It's just the experience. So the second time around, I have less training under my body, but I have more experience. So I came into it like same way, just different experiences, make a couple of adjustments. And I mean, I remember mile 90 of the second year, I was feeling better than I was feeling a mile 40 on the first year.
All right. So this is interesting. You're just like when people do 26. I did my first 26.2. I said, I got to do this again because I made so many mistakes.
Yes, exactly.
And that's how you do it. Even at the 100, which is a whole new level. And folks understand the advice that we give is from one runner to another runner. So please check with your doctor and professionals before you go and thinking of doing a 100-mile.
Don't do 100 miles. Just for crazy people.
Well, how many people did it that year?
I believe, yes, this race, I think it's about 170 people average, 170 to 200
you
people.
You came in 55th or 56th.
Yeah, something like that.
That's
I mean, it's just a place.
Now, before we go into your new venture, what is your next challenge in terms of endurance events?
My next challenge, well, right now I'm training for my 9th Ironman in Coeur d'Alene. That's kind of my key race of the first half of the year.
Ironman. Explain to the audience what an Ironman is.
Ironman is a triathlon, and it's the distance you swim 22.4 miles. Swim. Then
That's a
start. The warm up. Then you bike 112 miles, and after that, just in case you're not tired enough, you have to run 26.2 miles.
A marathon.
A marathon.
What's the name of it again?
The Ironman Coeur d'Alene in Idaho.
Idaho.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm taking my little group, my little triathlon club, to 11 of us are going there to run.
Now, I'm not that familiar with the triathlon world, but I believe they have something that's equivalent to the Boston, running Boston.
Right.
Now, what's the thing that you run in the triathlon what's equivalent to Boston? Is that Honolulu?
Yes, the Kona.
Kona.
Kona is in Hawaii, in the island of Kona in Hawaii. It's the World Championship. You had to qualify, but it's much harder to qualify than Boston. You had to qualify by place. So, it's pretty much when you go to an Ironman, you have to place in the top 1-2% of your age group to qualify for this event.
Did you qualify like 2 years ago?
I qualified in 2004, yes. I did go to Hawaii in 2004,
Excellent.
which definitely one of the experiences of my life.
So, folks, Ramon is not your typical marathoner. He's an Ironman. Went to the World Championship, so definitely be in shape to do 100 miles. So that's your next challenge. You're wearing this American Cancer Society. What is this?
About 3 months ago, I left the corporate world. Through the years, I worked for 20 years in this software company for 20 years. Great company to work for. I spent 20 years there. In the last 8 years, I got introduced to the nonprofit world by coaching, team and training. So about 3 months ago, I had the opportunity to start working full-time for and getting a job that combines my both passions right now, which is both sports and nonprofit. I got a job for them working for the American Cancer Society as the director of endurance events / head coach for the Determination program. Determination is, it's the nation of runners which they fundraise dollars to help the fight against cancer.
Now, is this a new program? Determination is probably new, but the American Cancer Society obviously been around for forever.
Yes.
But in terms of endurance events, is that something they started?
Correct, yes.
Recently?
The American Cancer Society has very well-known programs like Relay for Life, Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, Daffodils, very well-known programs out there. But Determination is a pretty new program. I started in Chicago 12 years ago. Used to be called Charity Runner. Was this one person that
Charity
Runner.
Okay.
This one person decided to run the Chicago Marathon and fundraise money for the American Cancer Society. And I've been working in Chicago for the last 12 years. And 2 years ago, the American Cancer Society decided, this is a great opportunity for us. Let's expand it. Let's make it a nationwide program.
Okay, I think we have a video clip that introduces determination. Let's see if we can play that in a second or two. But I would imagine it sounds like it's very similar to like team training, where people come in, agree to fundraise in exchange for the terrific training.
For the training and other amenities, they get. Besides, of course, helping a great cause in the fight against cancer, in exchange for the fundraising efforts, they're going to get, great coaching. We work on getting great coaches in Determination here in New York City and across the country. So they're going to get really coaching and giving the support that they deserve, both in the physical training of it, but also in the fundraising part of it, in the social part of it, and create a small family. That's what we're going to be about. Create not just about fundraise for us and do the race, but become part of our family. So it is, what is new. We're going to build it and become a really strong program. That's our goal. Created.
Okay, and so you've been on it for 3 months, so you're just scratching the surface right now.
Correct. Yes, but I have the experience. I have a lot of I bring the experience into the American Cancer Society, which I hope that I do have.
Now, are you the first? Is that a new position for you? For the company?
Well, they do have another director of endurance events, Sarah Collins. She started the New York City Determination program 2 years ago. She has done a great job, but now we're growing. It's growing very quickly, not just across the country, but in New York City. So we want to start adding more to it and build a great program.
Well, Ramon, that sounds like a terrific program. And thank you so much for coming for Gotta Run with Will, and the best of luck with
Thank you.
Determination.